Hi everyone, I'm going to be reviewing some of the Neutrogena cleansers that I have. Now, two in particular, the Neutrogena Deep Clean Cream Cleanser and the Nourishing Cream Cleanser was requested by Love to Sing 20. So thank you for the request. Sorry, it's taken me a little while to get through to this, but I thought I've also picked up some other Neutrogena cleansers. I would include them in this as well. There's the oil-free acne wash, the pink grapefruit one, and the Neutrogena Hypoallergenic Cleanser Bar. Now this one I've actually used on and off probably for the last year or so, but this one I've only sort of picked up in the last couple of months, and the two cleansers I've probably only had those for about 2 to 3 months. I tried to use them for about 3 weeks each, and then I ordered to use the products. I've been using them alternating, so I might use this one night, this another night, this another night, etc. through my other cleansers and scrubs. But basically, with all the cleansers, I don't use them in the morning. I typically just use them in the evening after I've removed my makeup, or I can use them to remove my makeup, and I'll sort of go through that. And just to give you an idea of my skin type, my skin is not sensitive, prone to sort of breakouts. My skin is going through a lot of different changes, but I have found that none of these products has sort of affected my skin adversely at all. I also have combination to oily skin, so more oily are typically around the T-zone. I'll start off with the two cream cleansers in the tube. Now the first one is the Nourishing Cream Cleanser Night Calming, and this you get 150 mils. I actually picked this one up at Priceline, but in Australia you can get it at a lot of different places. You can get Neutrogena, a lot of grocery stores, department stores, etc. And I think most of these probably retailed anywhere between 10 up to 14 sort of odd dollars or so. I think that I picked this up for about $14. Now this one claims to be oil free, and it's a soothing creamy cleanser, purifies down to pores with a unique calming fragrance, helps you unwind and prepares you for a good night's sleep. Now first off with this one, it also says a makeup remover. I have actually tried to remove makeup that I have had on, all my types of makeup, my liquid, my powder, my mineral foundations with blushes, bronzers, and I have found it actually does a fairly good job. This doesn't really foam up a lot, but it does give a gentle lather, just sort of like a white sort of lotion, sort of consistency. Wet my face first, then I sort of apply just a little, even smaller than that, sort of per cheek, and then I actually work it into gentle lather around my cheeks. Then I'll sort of move up around my forehead and then down around my neck area. So I'll probably only use total about 10 to 20 seconds sort of on my face, just working it in to remove the oil and the makeup and just sort of get down into my pores. And I do have fairly enlarged pores sort of around my inner cheek area and sort of around my lips. I found that this doesn't clog my pores, haven't had any sorts of reactions to it. Oil free. I have noticed it hasn't made my skin any oilier than it is, but it also hasn't made it less oily. And then what I would do after I've sort of lathered it in is just gently wash it off with lukewarm water at pat dry, and then I can apply any of my other sort of night treatments like my moisturizers or preventative creams, etc. And I've found using this hasn't sort of interfered with any of the other products that I use as well. Like I haven't had any sort of reactions as well, so that's been really good. As for the fragrance, I must admit I do find it particularly calming, but that might be because I'm just reading it to be calming. For example, it's quite suggestive. Cannot pick up a scent to compare it to. There's nothing in my collection I can actually compare it to. It does actually say on the back it has sugar cane, orange extract, lemon extract, but I can't actually pick up any citrus notes. Like normally orange and lemon, you can really pinpoint that in something, but I definitely can't pick up those scents. If anything to compare it to, it does smell a lot like the Deep Clean Cream Cleanser, but this is a little bit sort of stronger, but they're actually both very gentle scents, quite very nice and calming. Might be quite good for people that are sensitive to sort of fragrance, but of course you should try the tester in the store first, and then you can obviously just buy something that is non-fragranced if you don't like it. But I must admit it is a fairly friendly scent. Like I said, it does a fairly good job of removing makeup. Honestly, with eye makeup though, I do prefer to use my eye makeup remover pads, wipes, or other cleansers that I have. I've only tried this once to remove eye makeup, and that's when I had a particularly heavy eye made up. I must admit I didn't quite like sort of trying to foam it up around there and then trying to sort of wash it off, so it didn't sting my eyes, and it doesn't say not to use it around the eye area, but just for my sort of comfort, I prefer just to use my normal eye makeup removers. I've also tried to remove lipstick with it. It did an okay job, but I think it was more coming off when I was actually sort of trying to wash it off with the water. I do prefer to use my sort of lip scrubs or just a balm and tissue to remove sort of lipstick. Overall, it was actually a fairly good product for the price. One is the Neutrogena Deep Clean Cream Cleanser, and this also states to be oil free. And this one's a little bit more, 200 mils in the tube, and this is about the same price as the night calming one. Again, you can pick this up at a lot of different places in Australia. Say do not use around the eye areas. This actually has only a third of the listed ingredients that this one has in it. It says that you can also use it to penetrate deep into the pores, to dissolve dirt, oil and makeup. And it also removes dead surface skin cells that can dry, roughen and dull your complexion, overall to give you a nice softer feel to the skin. Now again, I haven't had any reactions with this one, haven't noticed any difference with the amount of oil that I get through daily on my skin, haven't noticed any clogged pores as well, as it says won't clog pores. Admittedly, both of them leave my skin feeling very refreshed and very cleansed. So a really nice gentle sort of cleanse to the skin. Again, this doesn't foam up a lot, just a really gentle lather. Same application to when I go to cleanse it, just the circular motions around the face and then wash off. I have tried to use this to remove makeup as well because it says you can for makeup. I did find that I needed a little bit more product with this than I did the night calming one. I also just showed you looking cleanser, that's the deep clean one. I do find it's a little bit thicker in consistency. It feels a little bit more like a cream as opposed to say a lotion consistency for the night calming one. It did practically the same job, I must admit, to the night calming one. The scent even is fairly similar, as strong as the night calming one, but a very nice fresh scent. And I did find it also sort of removed dirt because in my job, quite a fairly labour intensive job, so I do come home with a little bit of grime sometimes, and sometimes I'll come home and want to get my makeup straight off, and this does a pretty good job at that. And this, and as opposed to the night calming one, this actually has salicylic acid in it, which might be good for drying sort of any acne or blemishes you might be experiencing. I did find that when I was just using this or just trying this for a couple of weeks without using my blemish cream, that they were still coming through. Like, it was only probably good maybe for a few hours after I'd used it, but I would still prefer to use this in combination with any other blemish treatments. Now the next one is the oil-free acne wash. Now this is the pink grapefruit one. I think I saw Jade Girl originally use this one and I was so keen to try it, so I picked this one up at Priceline. I think it was about $11 or so. I must admit, what really attracted me to it is the scent of pink grapefruit, and it does smell absolutely divine. It is a really, really yummy scent. Now this one, as you can see, is a pump bottle as opposed to the actual tube ones. Either are fairly good. I mean, with these ones, it is a little bit easier to get the last little bit of product out, as you can just sort of keep sort of squeezing all the way through to get out the product. Whereas this one, obviously, once you get right down to the bottom, you're going to have to try and open this up and get the product out, or put water in it to get the product. But I do like the fact that I can actually reuse this, so I'll be able to take off the label because it's just a clear sort of label. This one you get 175 mils, and again on the front it promotes salicylic acid, 2% WW. So again, it might be good for someone, as it says, acne wash. Salicylic acid will all sort of dry out any sort of blemish areas. Also says an uplifting blast of grapefruit plus vitamin C. Formula eliminates oil and dirt without over drying, clearing breakouts and blackheads to unclog congested pores. This one, as you can see, as opposed to something like a cream sort of cleanser, this is more like a gel. And it's fairly similar to any sort of body gels or shower gels that you would use. Again, wet the face, apply a little bit of the product, comes out fairly clear, and then it actually lathers up. It lathers up a little bit more than the cream cleansers, same effect. The skin feels very cleansed afterwards. Again, I've had no issues with clogged pores or any sort of changes in the oil amount or production on my face. This has quite a lot of products listed in it. Again, all of these have water as the first main ingredient. Probably get more product in the Neutrogena Deep Cleanser for the money than you would do the oil-free one. But I do notice a lot of different places that sell Neutrogena, you can have like $2, $3, $4 difference in prices for the very same product. So it's probably worth shopping around first before you go out and buy these. With this one as well, I tried to use this when I had breakouts or blemishes occurring on my skin. I honestly didn't find any sort of difference for that, possibly because I was only using it at night. I found it was more effective when I was applying my different spot treatment. Again, it's up to you, I suppose, how well you really work that lather into your skin before you actually rinse it off. It smells the best out of all of them. Of course, if you don't like pink grapefruit scent, you'd probably want to stay away from this because it's definitely unmistakable. And the lucky last is the Neutrogena Hypoallergenic Cleanser Bar. This might be good if you are particularly sensitive to a lot of different sort of products. This might be a good cleanser for you. And I actually use this sort of all over my body as well as in my face. Typically with this one I can use it night or day. If I'm in the shower, I can actually just work this into my face and down around my neck area, and then obviously the rest of my body if I so wish. Now this one's just what they call a transparent bar. This one has been used, I just wanted to sort of show you, but it is basically a honey amber sort of colour. Doesn't really have a scent, and even when you're trying to lather up, doesn't really have much of a scent, but it's a really clean smell, even though it does say fragrance free. It might be good if you've got sensitive skin and are sensitive to fragrance as well. You might want to try this one instead. Now this, you get 95 grams of product, and it doesn't have salicylic acid in it, and it only has about 10 ingredients, so it has the least amount of ingredients as opposed to the other cleansers. Now it says it's made with glycerin and other high quality ingredients, clean rinsing and won't leave any pore clogging residue. And again, I've never sort of experienced any clogged pores with this product. I've never had any sort of skin breakouts or any irritations when using this over my face or any parts of my body. I know you can pick this up at a lot of different grocery stores, a lot of places you can get Neutrogena. It's a fairly sort of common sort of product to get. Normally we get all the sort of soap bars, and I'm pretty sure I paid about $4 or $5 for this. I cannot remember, but of course it's more your cheaper option. Again, you're sort of getting half the amount of product that you would be getting in some of the other cleansers that I just mentioned, but it's actually quite good if you just want to use it all over your body, or if you're sensitive to other sorts of products. Now I hope you did find that useful. Take care.